people want you to say something more lofty or beautiful or whatever it is that they're looking for. But I found that to be 100% true, that at the end of the day, there's beauty and light in the world, and I think that they both serve a purpose. My question, and I resonate with Tim Grover as much as you do, how do you control the rage? Like, most people are broken by the experiences that you went through. So how do you actively turn that into something useful?
Well, it's not so much controlling the rage, it's knowing that when I had all that anger and rage and I channeled it towards, carjacking and home invasions with my friends, being the getaway driver and getting caught by the police, like, karma was not good to me, right? When you decide to carjack someone and you later find out that night that they're in a gang and now they're back for retaliation and they're beating the crap out of you in front of your girlfriend who's like panicking, right? You realize, hey, this is karmic justice. And so I had to take that rage and use it for good. And I figured at that point that if I used it for good, good things would happen. Because I used it for bad, and bad things were happening to me. Like, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I do know how to connect dots. And the dots were, when I did bad, bad happened to me. And by God, I better start doing good or I'm going to die. And so, thankfully, the only constant I had in my life was, after senior year of high school, I finally decided to figure out how to lose weight just so I can ask some girl out to the prom. I never did ask her to the prom, but I lost weight senior year of high school, and that kind of, got me involved in fitness and working out. So I was always in the gym, which was bad because now I'm a strong, steroid-using, angry young man just on a mission to destroy, right? My goal wasn't to go and destroy things. It's just, you have it, I want it, and it was mine. Bad way to look at things. And today it's the opposite. And I want to serve you. And I wake up every morning knowing that I can wear one of two shirts. What can you do for me? Or how can I serve you? And I choose the one deliberately every single morning, and how can I serve you? And ever since I've done that, it's been the most selfish thing. So I take that darkness, the rage, the anger, and I just use it for good.
Why do you think it's so useful?
I think it's useful for me, and I think more people ought to embrace that darkness, that rage, because it gives you a sense of being invincible. The truth of the matter is, whether you're growing up, you're a foreigner like I am in this country, and you're growing up against bigotry and hate and being broke and moving around from school to school and being bullied and picked on, or you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to build your business, turn your idea into a dream and help people, you're gonna come across adversities, challenges, setbacks, and you gotta have a reason why, and most people who succeed ultimately have a strong reason why. But if that reason why is fueled, I look at rage and darkness as a supercharger. I have a reason why, and the supercharger on top of that engine is my rage and darkness. And so I think more people ought to put themselves in positions where they deal with adversity and challenges so that they can develop some sense of anger and darkness and rage. Like I'll be very frank with you, dude. Between the ages of 4 and 6, I was molested by 2 older boys consistently in Armenia. What my parents don't know is when we escaped Armenia, they thought they're just bringing us to freedom. They saved me from that. Like, I grew up with a chip on my shoulder. Like, all men were the fucking enemy to me, right? Because of what happened to me. And I was fists up everywhere. So, only in hindsight, like Steve Jobs says, when you look back, all the dots connect. But I realized all that anger and rage was coming from just, I had to go protect myself, right? But in that ability to disassociate, when you're being molested over and over again, you have to disassociate and mentally disappear. I realized that I developed some superpower. And you don't have to go and get molested. You don't have to go and get raped and abused. But you can go take on a challenge that you've never done before. In 2010, I kind of called myself, I'm a meathead. I just lift weights and put them down, right? I had kind of painted myself into that corner. Why not go run a marathon? So I trained for 6 weeks and went and ran a marathon. It was the most painful thing I ever did, but I realized that was more the suffering and the pain. And the more pain I had, the more it put me into the zone of wanting to dominate. So it is a superpower. So I almost now go back and put myself into these challenges. Rock climbing, I was afraid of heights, took on a 6-week challenge, started climbing rocks. Wanted to fight a professional MMA fighter, so I hired him, trained for 6 weeks, went in the ring and got my ass kicked and choked out. But each time I did that, it gave me the sense of I can get over any obstacle. And if I can get over getting choked out and punched and the pain of 26.2 miles in a marathon, or overcoming my fear of heights, surely I can build a business. Surely I can take some criticism online, right? But not enough people are willing to build that mental, emotional toughness. And the moment they do, they'll persevere.